Hello, my name is Jeff Castaldo. I'm going to be demonstrating the pick drill developed by UCAN Row 2 Rowing. The pick drill is imperative to helping members and clients with the technique of rowing, as well as it's a warm-up in all of our group fitness classes, our Row Fit group fitness classes at Naya Fitness. All right, so we're going to start. The first part of the pick drill is breaking down the row, the full row, we call it, moving forward up the slide. The second part of the pick drill is called the reverse pick drill, and it's breaking down the rowing movement as we move away from the slide. And you'll see what I mean in a moment. So we're going to start with our lean. We have 3 leans. We have a 1 o'clock lean, which is forward. For those of you with very flexible hamstrings, you can lean pretty close to 1 o'clock, like a clock. And 12 o'clock, for those of you with hamstrings that are not so flexible, your 1 o'clock lean may be more like a 12 o'clock, which is right here. But anyway, we're going to start with 1 o'clock lean, then we have 12 o'clock lean, which is just straight up and down, and then we have 11 o'clock, which is when we finish the row, we're going to be at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock is always back, 1 o'clock is always forward. The 12 o'clock, we really never stop there. It's more of a swing through position. However, again, if you have really tight hamstrings, your 12 o'clock is going to be your 1 o'clock. All right, so we're going to start in the 11 o'clock. We're going to start slightly back as if we finished the row, and we're just going to do 20 arm pulls. And I have a counter in front of me to monitor the amount of strokes we have. Each part of this pick drill is just as important as the other. I highly recommend you don't leave any part of the pick drill out. All right, now we're almost at 20, and now we're just going to lean forward to a 1 o'clock and drive back with the arms. So now we're adding hips and arms. And if you were taking our group fitness class, we call this arms, body, row. Notice that I'm pushing the handle away from my body. The handle is constantly moving. So I push the handle away from my body, and I move forward behind it. So it's arms, body, drive. Arms, body, drive. Or rather, I should say arms, lean, drive. Arms, lean, drive. Good. So now we're almost at 20 strokes here. Arms, body, drive. Okay, we're using our glutes still to do that drive. Even though my legs aren't moving, I'm using the glutes. Next is a quarter slide. So I'm just going to slide to the quarter position, which means my knees are just popping up, and I'm quarter of the way back to the front of the rower, or forward to the front of the rower. So again, nothing changes. Arms, body, lean, and then there's a little slide. Okay, so adding a slide. Arms, body, lean, slide. Arms, lean, slide, drive. Arms, lean, slide, drive. Notice my legs are not going too far forward. The fact that it eases the tension on my hamstring when I pop those knees. My hamstrings are kind of stretched, and then the knee then reduces that tension. The next part is a half slide. All right? So we're just going to arms, lean, slide to half position, pull. Arms, lean, slide. Arms, lean, slide. The half position is just obviously a little more forward than the quarter position, but notice I'm only barely halfway down the slide. Just enough to get those knees up in closer to my arms. I'm going to try to keep those arms moving all the time, or the handle, I should say, moving all the time. A couple more reps. All right, now we're gonna go to three-quarter slide. Three-quarter slide, same thing, except we come all the way to three-quarter. Three-quarter can be variable depending on your flexibility. So in our case, we use the heels as a guide. Your heels stay on the stretchers. My heels will not lift up at the three-quarter slide. I'm going to try to keep that 1 o'clock position. And also notice, when I drive, I hold the 1 o'clock position. I don't lean back right away. I come in, I drive, I hold the 1 o'clock until the end. Hold the 1 o'clock until the end. Good, keeping those heels down. All right, we got 20 strokes. Full slide. So the full slide is basically I come forward, my heels are forced up off the stretchers just a little bit, and then I drive out with the hips and the legs. Catch my breath a little bit and discuss this, the breakdown of this. Notice on the drive, I'm trying to hold that 1 o'clock until my legs are almost fully extended, and then I lean back. So full extension, lean. And 11. So I'll take you through it with the clock position. We're 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 11. 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 11. Okay? You do not want to get to that 11 o'clock position too early. All right, here's our 20. So now we got through 120 strokes. We finished the first part of the pictorial. This actual position here is called the catch, which most of you are probably familiar with. And we're holding this. This is part of the pictorial. We're going to hold the catch position. Notice my heels are slightly lifted. My back is straight. I'm neutral. I'm not rounded down here, not rounded, reaching with the shoulders. Nice and neutral. I'm resting my arms on my legs. You can, you don't have to. But I'm going to rest my arms on my legs. And I'm feeling a lot of tension, compression in my legs, lots of tension in my back, good tension. I'm holding on to my posture, my neutral alignment. All right, so this is typically 20 seconds. So we're at about 20 seconds, and now we're going to start the reverse pictorial. The first part is just a pop. We call it a pop, and all we're basically doing is popping away and putting our heels on the ground. Now I kind of recommend that if you're new to the pictorial, you do this nice and easy, and you don't put a lot of drive into this part. Just put the heels down and lift them. What's good about this is it's going to activate the anterior tibialis or your shin, and that's important because when you get up to this catch, if you're reaching, you're going to turn all these good driving muscles off. But if we stay here, we can use our anterior tibialis to help us get into that catch position, combined with the posterior complex of the back and the hips, and you are wound up like a spring, like a very powerful spring. And that spring is going to drive many watts of power. Okay, so we did about 20, and now we're going to drive away, holding 1 o'clock, holding 1 o'clock, until the legs are straight. And again, if you have hamstring flexibility issues, you may just not drive to a perfectly straight knee, or your other option is be more at a 12 o'clock when you drive back and forth. The most important part of this is that we do not change the lean. We don't go from 1 to 12, 1 to 11. We stay in that position. Whether it's 1 o'clock lean or more like a 12 o'clock lean, we're going to stay there. All right, I got about 10 strokes left. Notice my knees aren't perfectly straight, because if I did, I'd probably drag my pelvis under. We don't want to do that. You want to keep that nice neutral alignment of the back, and even up to your neck. I can work on that myself. All right, so we did about 20, and now we're just going to add the hips, right? So the cool thing about this especially doing the reverse pictorial, is I recommend you put the monitor on watts. And what happens is every part of the reverse pictorial you add, the watts will go up. Right now you can see I'm throwing about 120 watts. And that is with just my leg power, no arms yet. Now when I add my arms, I should only be another third. So say I was pulling about 100 watts. With my arms, I should be pulling about 150. If you guys find that this part of the pictorial, which is legs and hips, if you're pulling, we're almost done with this, so we just finished that. But if you're pulling only 70 watts and you add your arms and it goes up to like 200, you're doing too much arm work. So anyway, we're gonna finish this. We're gonna add the full row now. This is the last part of the reverse pictorial, and it's the full row. So I'm back to the full row, and what I've noticed is I went from about 120 to 130, and now with my arms, I'm up to about 170. So I'm fairly good. I could have used a little more leg drive, but again, this is the pictorial, and we're not trying to make our own set any PRs here. So before I finish the 20 reps, let's just go over what's happening. We're at the catch, we drive out to the finish. The arms continue to move. Most important part is I rock into that 1 o'clock after the finish. I rock to the 1, then slide. Swing to the 1, then slide. If you're doing this correctly, you'll feel yourself on the meaty muscle part of your butt at the finish. Lots of meat here when you're sitting on the seat. And at the lean, the 1 o'clock, you're going to feel yourself on your sit bone. You're going to feel yourself on the pelvis bone. And you'll feel it push into the seat. And that's good. It's a good forward lean position. All right, we just finished. It's approximately 7 minutes. We went over, we did a little, probably about 10 strokes more than we're supposed to. But this is a great guide. Use it every time you row. Use it as the first thing, and your technique will definitely improve, given that you're doing each part of this correctly. And again, can't overemphasize enough. Each part of the pictorial is just as important to your body and technique as any other part in this pictorial. All right, thank you.